We are inching closer to naming county champions here in Long Island. Welcome to this week's edition of Around the Dime, and I'm your host, Kevin Devaney Jr., your MSG Varsity Tri-State Baseball Show, the Long Island Special. And as we said, Nassau, Suffolk, the Catholic champions. We're getting closer. We're getting there. They're eliminating some teams in the Nassau ranks. They're eliminating some high seeds in the Nassau ranks. Class AA saw their top 4 seeds all go down in the quarterfinals, and we're getting closer to crowning champions here in Long Island. We're going to jump into the show right now, and we're going to start in Class AA in Nassau, where things got crazy pretty quickly. Number 1, Mepham, out. Number 2, MacArthur, them in the second. Hicksville, number 3, out. People picked Hicksville to win the championship. Didn't make it out of the quarterfinals, and Calhoun, 2 years removed from winning a championship. They are the number 4 seed. They have been eliminated. So who's left? Who's going to win this Long Island championship? Could be anybody. Could be East Meadow. East Meadow came into the quarterfinal round. I guess maybe the biggest underdog facing MacArthur, the mighty MacArthur and Heidenfelder, and we had them ranked all year, and they had a game that was stopped. Game 1 was stopped because of darkness the first night. They had to continue the game, and there you go. East Meadow wins that one. They win game 1 in 11 innings after resuming the next day. Matt Laudiano's home run in the top of the 13th gave Coach Ken Sicoli his 500th career victory. MacArthur bounces back with Heidenfelder on the mound. They win game 2, 4-2. It sets up the winner-take-all game 3. And Brian Cavanaugh pitches a 5-hitter with 7 strikeouts. Marcus Caboting, 2 RBIs. East Meadow bounces back and moves on to the semifinals. They lost game 1 to Massapequa. In the semifinal round, we can take a look at the Nassau County updates for Class AA, and here we are. We have number 10, Oceanside. They keep rolling along. Knocked off Plainview JFK in game 1. They have game 2. All game 2s are Wednesday at the lower seeds. Massapequa knocked off East Meadow, and that was a 6-5 win. Nick Garland, bases loaded single in the 7th for the victory. The Oceanside win. Jake Santa Maria, complete game 3-hitter with 9 strikeouts. And game 3 of the series, if necessary, we played on Friday. I have to imagine the way these playoffs have gone, we're going to see game 3s in both of these series. But as we mentioned, East Meadow hanging in there, trying to force another one after falling in the game 1 to Massapequa. But they knocked off MacArthur, which is really the biggest upset of the Class AA tournament in Nassau. And now we move on to Class A in Nassau. And Ryan Perro, Ryan Perro missed some time. We thought maybe he'd be done for the season for North Shore. Well, when you look back on the best pitching performances of the postseason, you gotta remember the return of Ryan Perro being maybe the best of this bunch. He pitches a 1-hitter in a complete game 1-0 win over Hewlett to take number 2 North Shore in a brilliant effort. Pitched a 2-hitter, 7 strikeouts as North Shore knocked off Hewlett in the quarterfinal round to move on to the semis. And Connor Lynn scored the winning run at the bottom of the 7th on a squeeze bunt by Billy Bianco, as we said, for a 1-0 victory. Now we move on to the semifinals, and you look at division. They came into this postseason with so much expectations. Only 2 losses all season long, the last loss being way back on April 17th to Roslyn. They blew by Garden City in the opening round, and they opened the series on Tuesday against Seaford in the semifinals in Class A, and Anthony Papa delivered another one. Anthony Papa the pitcher, is that what we call him, Eddie Margulies? 8-0 on the year, only allowed 1 earned run in this game. It was a tight game throughout before division broke it open in the 6th inning. Great defense, as you can see. James Varela delivered an RBI single in the 6th to put division up 6-4, and they would not look back. They win 7-4. Joe Piscatelli 2 for 2 with an RBI. Joe Spitaleri went 2 for 3 in the victory. So number 1 division moves on in the postseason with a 7-4 victory over Seaford. Moving on to game 2, we can take a look at the Nassau Class A bracket, how things have shaped up so far in the semifinal round. As we said, North Shore moved on, and they knocked off Clark in their next game. John Ogilvin, 1 earned run, 7 strikeouts in 6 innings pitched. We talked about division knocking off Seaford in game 1. Game 2s are also on Wednesday in Class A. Game 3s, if necessary, matching up on Friday. And that is the way things look in Nassau Class A. And now we take the transition now from Nassau to Suffolk, where things have gone a little bit more chalk, although we lost the number 1 seed there as well. Or not number 1 seed, they're in the losers bracket in Suffolk in Class AA. And we start with West Islip. Now West Islip and Station North, number 1 seeded Station North, met in the Suffolk AA winners bracket last Thursday. It took 2 days to play this one, and it was a pretty good one. It was stopped because of darkness. It was made up the next day. Sam Alario, bases loaded in the top of the 10th, cleared it with a double to center field. Lou Antos got the win, a 12-8 victory over Station North for West Islip. So West Islip continues their dream postseason, knocking off the top seed Station North in the quarterfinals. Now we move on to Hills West and Ward Melville. This is the matchup of teams. Hills West, they were kind of up and down in our rankings all year long. We never really know where to put them, and we said they have the hitting for the postseason. Are they going to get the pitching? And they have it now. 3 consecutive postseason shutouts for Hills West, including this gem, a 1-0 win over Ward Melville in the Suffolk AA semifinals. Hills West new pitching was the key to make a run at a county championship. When you have Aaron Glickstein on the mound, you don't need much offense. The Fireballer Jr., 12 strikeouts in the game, just 2 walks, 3 hits. Sam Noriega made a diving catch in this game. Is this the play right here? Nope, this is the game-winning single. The walk-off for Ken Chiotis ended it, RBI single in the 7th. 1-0 win, and we see them celebrate on the field. Hills West knocking off Ward Melville 1-0 in the Suffolk AA semifinals.
Yeah, there's nothing you want more than be that person with bases loaded, 3-2 in the last inning. You have to get that run in. I just put, the game behind me, the pass behind me of the game, and just made sure I see the ball off the bat and just did anything I could just to get that run in.
And Kenny Chiotis, it's going to go as a line drive in the book, although it was a real bloop single to center field in a walk-off win. We take a look now at the Suffolk Class AA bracket, how things are shaping up. As you know, it's double elimination in Suffolk County. West Islip knocked off Kings Park, number 8 over number 4. Nick Arnold, a complete game effort. Matt Klein, 4 for 4 with 2 runs scored in that one. Hills West, a 1-0 win over Ward Melville. Station North, the losers bracket, a 5-3 win over Smithtown West. Smithtown West has been eliminated. Stephen Foster, 3 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Comac beat East Islip 1-0. Ryan Dorshug, a 5-hitter. Christian Spagnola scored on an error in the fifth inning to win that. And now we see how the losers bracket is shaping up schedule-wise. Those 2 games, number 1 Station North against Ward Melville, Comac, Kings Park. Those games are on Wednesday in the losers bracket. Going to try and keep things going to move on to the next round. So that is the scene in Suffolk Class AA, and now we move on to Class A, where Class A, Shoreham Wading River, once they took 2 out of 3, all 3 games being extra innings over defending champion Bayport, the target was put firmly on their back. If it wasn't there to begin with, it's firmly on their back. Well, they ran into a very hot West Hampton team in the opening round of the Suffolk Class A tournament. Tie game after 6 innings, and it was a thriller as well. Eddie Margulies special. Wherever our guy Eddie Margulies goes, it seems he sees a walk-off, and he saw another one here. He didn't think he was going to see it. Top of the 7th inning, a 3-run homer there for Ryan Osborne to break a 0-0 tie in the top of the 7th. The West Hampton trying to knock off the number 1 seed. We go to the bottom of the 7th, and it was not going to hold up. Shoreham's Matt Fox tied the game with a 2-out, 2-run single on a 3-2 pitch, and then John Montesano, a grounder, could not be handled at first base, and you see Shoreham surviving 4-3. Another mad dash to celebrate at first base for Shoreham Wading River.
I left that right over the plate for him. He took a great hack. He hit it over the fence. He beat me on that. But I know this team, we were not going to give up after that, and I couldn't have done this without them. That was just a little part of it. Everybody else did a great job that inning.
May have been the gut check that Shoreham River needed. Now they're going to move on to the championship and take on Bayport in a double elimination championship game. So it's going to be very interesting to see how Shoreham can finish this off and win a county championship. And now we look at the Suffolk Class A scores and schedule. And as we said, Rocky Point in the losers bracket knocked off West Hampton. Frank Moscatiello, 1-hitter, 4 innings pitched, 6 strikeouts for Rocky Point. Harbor Fields, a 6-0 winner over Islip. Kennedy, 6 2/3, 11 strikeouts. So as we said, we see the schedule right now. The winner's bracket, it's not the championship, it's really the winner's bracket. The winner goes on to the championship, and that game is Bayport Blue Points at Shoreham Wading River. And then, of course, in the loser's bracket, you have Rocky Point Harbor Fields. The winner of the loser's bracket game will play the loser of the Bayport Shoreham game, and the winner of that game will play the winner of the Shoreham Bayport game. That's how loser's bracket tournaments, double elimination tournaments work. It can be a little confusing, but that's the way things go in Class A in Suffolk. Not so confusing is the way the Class B tournament goes in Suffolk. There's only 2 teams, Center Moriches and, of course, Mattituck. Now, Mattituck, you talk about teams, maybe the most pressure of any team in Long Island, public school, private school, in Nassau, Suffolk, it is on Mattituck. They go on to the game 1 of the Class B championship game against Center Moriches. They fall behind 4-0 in this game. And then to steal the tweet from Newsday reporter Laura Albanese, holy smoke, Mattituck scores 5 runs in the bottom of the 7th inning. They rally back. Will Gildersleeve, a 2-run double to the wall in the bottom of the 7th. Marcos I knew I was going to screw this up. Paravolaris, a game-tying RBI single, and then he scored on a Chris Dwyer 2-out bloop single, and a 5-4 win for Mattituck in Game 1 of the Class B championship. Mattituck going to try and win another title as they move on to the LICs. Mattituck, you got to say, they're not only a Long Island championship favorite, but I have to say a state championship favorite. A lot of teams from all across New York State. I do a lot of Hudson Valley baseball, know a lot about Mattituck. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how they progress in the postseason. And now we go to the Catholic ranks, where we had an upset, and then, team we expected to win. Chaminade baseball has been so good of late. Once they knocked off St. Dom's, they took 2 out of 3 and handed St. Dom's their first loss of the season. You knew this team was legit. And now they are moving just a little bit closer to winning a Catholic championship. They had to knock off St. John the Baptist. They had to knock off Kellenberg in the semifinals. A 5-4 win in Game 1 in a game where they were trailing. John Deller pinch hit 2-run double in the bottom of the 6th for the go-ahead runs in that game. And then in Game 2, Jim McCarty was in control. Complete game, no earned runs, 7 strikeouts. Chaminade wins 5-4 in the first game. They knock off, they sweep the series, 5-1 win in the second. Bo O'Connell, 2 hits, including the double in the top of the 6th to break a scoreless tie in this one. So Chaminade moves on to the championship game, where you didn't hear much about Chaminade mid-season. Now they're so close to winning a title.
My first base coach, Coach Lyons, he always believes in me, and I had the pinch hit today, and it was pretty big. And right before the at bat, he told me he has a good cut on his ball. So he told me to make sure to try to hit it opposite field because of the curve at the end.
So Chaminade knocks off Kellenberg in a sweep in the other part of the bracket. You see it right here, and it was really maybe the surprise of the postseason in Long Island, that being St. Dominic's losing in their semifinal, getting swept by St. John the Baptist in the Catholic semifinals. Those games being on Monday and Tuesday, losing 6-0 in Game 1, 3-2 in Game 2. So a surprise to see St. Dominic's season end short of the championship series. The championship series in the Catholic League gets started on Sunday. Farmingdale State, St. John the Baptist taking on Chaminade in the final. Game 2 is on on Monday, and if necessary, Game 3 is later in the day on Monday. That's how things stack up in the Catholic League in Long Island. And now on to our Tri-State poll. One of my favorite things to do each week with the Tri-State poll, I go into the control room and I give the guys a poll, and usually Russ, Brian, or Bob, one of them says, "Is this right? Is this right in this poll?" There's so much movement in this Tri-State baseball poll every single week that it looks like it's wrong, but no, trust me, it's right. And we're going to dive right into the poll right now. Our top 20 poll, and we're going to start at the bottom. The team entering the poll this week is Staples, knocking on the door really for the last 2 weeks. Got a marquee win on Monday, beating West Hill. They've won 10 games in a row in Connecticut, sitting atop the FCX standings at 16-3 overall, 15-2 in the league. Number 19, Ward Melville. They were cruising along. They dropped 12 spots when they lost 1-0 to Hills West in the Suffolk Class AA semis this week. They're kind of hanging in there, hoping to win a Suffolk County championship. Number 18, now this is where a team really plummeted. 15 spots, St. Peter's Scrap. They lost to number 9, Marist, 3-2 on Saturday in the Hudson County Tournament Final, despite a 5-hitter from Antonio Velarde, who struck out 5 along the way. Our number 17 team is Long Island, that being Division, the Class A favorites in a Nassau County Championship, and James Valera, game-winning single in a win this week for Division. And number 16 team is Sachem North, 18-3 overall. Michael Donald swinging the bat really well, so is Stephen Foster. They knocked off Smithtown West 5-3. They're kind of clinging to a county championship. Now we move on to the next teams in the poll. Number 15, Marist, coming off a county championship in the Hudson County Final. The Bayonne Bunch Pitching rich, Matt Luttrell, Josh Witherspoon combined 12-2 on the year. The team is 21-6 overall. Number 14, a team whose season is, at least a state championship berth is over, that being Hunterdon Central, dropping 4 spots, 21-4. Greg Lerner says they still are really one of the top teams in New Jersey, if not the Tri-State, as we see them. Number 14 team, but their quest for a state championship is over as they lost as a number 1 seed to number 16 in the opening round. Our number 13 team, Hills West from Long Island, 19-3. Dramatics. They're getting pitching, great pitching from Aaron Glickstein right now. Struck out 12 in the win over Ward Melville in the Suffolk AA semifinals. Hills West could be a dark horse. Not really a dark horse, but I guess would be a little bit surprised they won a Suffolk County championship. Number 12 team in the poll from New Jersey is Westfield. Not ranked last week, 16-3 overall. And they are cruising along right now behind Anthony Perconte, the senior outfielder. And our number 11 team is a team that also drops out of the top 5, that being Ketchum of Section 1. They go from 4 to 11. They lost to Beacon on Saturday night. Still the number 1 team in the Section 1 Class AA playoffs, which get underway fully on Thursday. Now we go to the top 10. And in our top 10 right now is Don Bosco, riding the wave of finally beating Bergen Catholic. 2 close games in the regular season, both losses. They beat him in the Bergen County quarterfinals on Saturday. They're 13-6 overall, move up 2 spots. Number 9, also in New Jersey, that's Indian Hills, 19-2-1 on the season. AJ LaPresti, Brett Wilkes, Serafino Brito. The pitching has been so good all season long. Those guys are 16-1 combined for the 19-2-1 Indian Hills squad. Number 8 team is Fairfield Prep, the top team in Connecticut right now. Really getting things geared up for a Class LL state title run with ace Kevin Stone, who's been lights out all season long. Number 7, a Class A team in Section 1, that is Beacon. You beat number 4 team Ketchum, you're going to move up in the poll. They move up 4 spots. They can start their quest for a Class A championship in Section 1 this week. Number 6 is Roxbury, one of the hottest teams in New Jersey. Lost 2 games this week, 2 kind of in between post-county tournament, really regular state tournament tune-ups. No shame there. 20-7 overall. Timmy Polron continues to be awesome on the mound for Roxbury. Now our top 5 teams. Poly Prep, they're the number 5 team. They are 1 win away from a independent state championship. Got to beat Rye Country Day on Wednesday at Manhattanville College to do that. Our number 4 team is Chaminade from Long Island, and they move on to the Catholic Championship in Long Island over the weekend. They are the number 4 team. Number 3 is Bergen Catholic. Even with that loss, we're not going to drop them out of the poll. They're dropping only 1 spot. They still are one of the top 3 teams. They are number 3 in the Tri-State poll right now, 19-4. Number 2, St. Joseph Regional, going to move up 3 spots. With the way they played of late, 7-0 win over Marist on Monday. And then you have our number 1 team. They've been there from the beginning, that being Seton Hall Prep, 25-2, the number 1 seed, although Greg Lerner hinted Cedar Grove could give Seton Hall Prep something to think about as we get going in the New Jersey State Tournament. So state tournament's getting started in New Jersey. We have county championships going to wrap up there as well. We're going to crown Long Island champions next week. We're going to hand out Section 1, Section 9 titles, FCX champions, and I'm going to take a little bit of a break, and we'll hope to see you next week on Around the Diamond. Thanks for joining us, and thanks to our guys in the control room, Eddie, our producer, for everything they do, and we'll see you next week on Around the Diamond.